Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 2,500 point game of my Orcs against some Skaven. So here are our generals for this game. I'm going to be running a regular Orc Shaman. Usually I run the Savage and put him up with the Shrunken Head, but I was a little bit tight on points, and you'll see why soon. And then my brother, he has his Grey Seer here, which now is painted and looking pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to go over the armies first, and then I'll talk about the mission. So on my side, I got a horde of Black Orcs. I got my brand new horde of Trolls. Can't wait to use those guys. Behind them is my Night Goblin bunker, and in there I have my BSB and my Great Shaman. Then my 100 Night Goblins with 2 big bosses. I got 2 Wolf Chariots, and then a horde of biggin, savages with extra choppa. On his side, he has an HBA, he has a horde of monks, a horde of storm vermin, some slaves, a big huge block of 100 clan rats, and in there is his Grey Seer. And in the slaves to the left, there's one engineer with the Doom Rocket and stuff. In the back is a bunker with the BSB, then another unit of slaves, then a Doom Wheel, and then his Warp Lightning Cannon. And in front is all these little engineers. And where that comes from is I had just done one of my Orc tactical teams, and I was talking about this. We can be using these cheap 15-point guys just to be controlling the movement phase. So, talking about the board, my brother did this old trick again where he put a river all the way down the center, so that's going to suck. The 2 white pillars, those are the Elven Waystones. He has a magic circle in his back, and there's going to be, the obstacle on the top right and buildings, but really only the river is going to really matter for this battle. Now, this is going to be a mission that we're playtesting for my tournament, and so the idea is that there's a traitor in your army. You don't know who at this point, but you're trying to weed them out while you're fighting your opponent. And so what's going to happen is that you get to deploy up to 18 inches up. One character deploys everything first, and then they get a turn on the first turn on a 2+. So that was my brother here. He deployed first, and he's going to be getting first turn. And then in the end, there's going to be 5 objectives. But before then, on turn 4, starting from left to right, you're going to roll a dice for every unit. And if you roll a 1, they're the traitors. And your opponent automatically gets control. So what that means is that you want to keep all the important stuff to the right. But in the end, as well, it can be a little bit tough. And if you get through the whole thing and didn't roll a 1, you just pick whatever unit you want it to be. So your 5 objectives is 1, kill the traitor. 2, don't allow the traitor to get any victory points. 2, end the game with a unit in their left deployment. The 4th one, end the game with a unit in their right deployment. And then the last one is kill all characters other than general, unless all they have is a general, in which case kill the general. So looking at this, I wanted to keep all my important stuff on the right, but this is where the bridge was. So, I'm trying to reduce some of those dangerous terrains as I charge through and stuff. And really, I'm pretty sure that his Storm Vermin have a flaming banner. Meanwhile, my Black Orcs have the flaming banner. So they're going to take on the HBA. I want my Trolls to take on the monks. And then my little Night Goblins will be stabbing up those Storm Vermin. And then hopefully my Savages on the other side can be holding up the rest of his line. So he got first turn. Didn't really move up that much. His HBA went one way. His Doom Wheel went the other. And his magic phase could have been very deadly. He rolled 6 dice, but then, his first one he tried doing Crack's Call, went through, did nothing, and, did 1 wound to my chariot, and then after that, he tried doing the 13th on my savages, and I stopped it. He tried blasting something with his cannon, but I can't. Oh, actually, no, it was the cannon that wounded the chariot. So, really, his first turn was just kind of a flop. So my turn, you can't march in a river, so I just walked right up to it. Now I have to be very careful, because if I push straight up, say with my savages, his Doom Wheel is going to hit me in the flank. One nice thing is it turned out this river is a river of light, so not really completely bad. You can get some nice things out of it. But something that really sucked this turn is that my plan was, because I'm going to be slowed down so much, and I don't want him to change the matchups on me, which again is actually another video I did that he's taking advantage of. I was going to set up my chariot to kill off those engineers. What happened, though, unfortunately, is that the left one failed to charge, which was going to hit the one engineer and then tie up the storm vermin. Then the right one went into the river, crashed, exploded, panicked the other one, and then ended up all the way over here and then rallied. Otherwise, I move up and I do devastating amounts of damage with my Foot of Gork. I do the bigger one, and I smash the Storm Vermin, and I smash the Monks, and I just kill something like 15 from both units. So in his turn, his HPA charges, but again, with my Strength 7 and Flaming, I don't really care. I'm not too scared. And he actually got pretty lucky on this side because his Doom Wheel tried to sneak past me, didn't go far enough, but then it actually misfired and went randomly off to this side here. So end of his turn looks like this. HPA is dead, and his magic didn't do anything this turn. Shooting didn't really do anything either. But you can see all those little engineers are just up there to cause me trouble. And at some point already, either this turn or last turn, he shot his Doom Rocket and it went way too far. He rolled really high and that missed. So that was lucky for me. So my turn 2, pretty simple. I mean, I don't want to charge these engineers because he's just going to flee. It's going to be a failed charge, and then I'm going to take dangerous terrain from going through the river. So all I did was just walked up in the river. All the effects on me were pretty good, so nothing too bad. I think I get the savages, maybe it shot one of them. But yeah, I'm just kind of slowly moving up, and magic was a bust for this turn. His turn 3, he hits the savages with the dreaded 13th. Kills all but 16, so I mean, I've also lost some from a warp lightning cannon shot or something, but I mean, these guys are supposed to be holding this whole flank, and they're going to find it pretty hard now. And at the end it looks like this. So he hit my Night Goblins with some big blast. I think it was from his cannon, so there's a bunch missing there. A few of my Black Orcs, but really the most damage is there on my Savages. So my turn 3, with no better options, my Savages charged the Engineer over here. And what was supposed to happen is I was going to then overrun into the slaves so that his big unit couldn't see them and I'd probably be out of range for his Doom Wheel, but I rolled double ones, so I'm just in range now to be smashed. So I obviously forgot to take a picture for then my turn 3, but basically it's just me scaring off the engineers. And then on his turn 4, I got to find out which one is the traitor. It was a stupid engineer that was fled in the back here, so not much I'm going to do with this guy. And yeah, this is going to be a massive test for my trolls, because now in his turn 4, he charged in with both his remaining monks and his storm vermin. And now he told me his storm vermin have the magic banner, that's the flaming one. So, and the monks have the one, of course, to give them all the rerolls. So first the storm vermin will go, take away my regen, and then the monks are going to go, and they're just going to cut the hell out of me. So I'm hoping I do okay, but this is going to be a super big test for them. His engineer just faces to the side and zaps that one engineer traitor, so much for that objective. And then he hits these savages with everything he's got. So the big huge unit of 100 clan rats in one flank, he has a doom wheel in the rear, and the slaves in the front. And the slaves was really a mistake, because now I can get a bunch of kills against them. So, end of his turn looks like this. Yeah, the trolls just couldn't do it. That was so much damage. I think I lost by 4 or 5, which wasn't too bad. I did a lot of damage back, but I just didn't make it. And now I have the rest of the Storm Vermin in my Night Goblins, and then I have the monks that are in the flank of my Black Orcs. So they should be able to hold and reform. And I mean, I'm not steadfast in that river, but with the 3 bosses, I might be able to hold up to them. So we'll see how that goes. And if you look up over there with the savages, yeah, I won that combat. That was huge. Killed a whole bunch of those slaves, and then I even killed a doom wheel. I only had like 3 guys to attack it with, but I just pretty much got everything through, and it already had taken 1 wound before from crashing into the river. So boom, dead. That's it. So on my turn 4, it turns out that my little chariot here is the traitor. It went all the way through, and I got to pick. And after my turn, it looks like this. So I tried doing Foot of Gork and stuff, but it got stopped. The Black Orcs held and reformed. I beat the Storm Vermin, let them run so I can face the flank of the Clan Rats, and those Savages are still winning combat. They just keep on slicing up the slaves. The Traitor Chariot hits into my flank, and oddly enough, he actually won that combat. He did crappy for his impact hit, so I thought it was going to be a given, but those last remaining monks just cut right into me, even without the rerolls. And he won just because he had Musician, but I held. So he'll be toast next time. Another big thing he did is he moved over the Engineer to deflect my Night Goblins, but it didn't matter because his guys just went ninja this turn and cut down all my Savages anyway. So yeah, that whole flank is done. My turn 5, I go through the one engineer and then go into the slaves and my other unit of my bunker there, just moving up to get the one objective. And then finally my black orcs kill the monks and run down the chariot. So at least that's one objective for me for killing the traitor. His turn 6, his big unit of 100 flanks my night goblins here. So yeah, I hope I hold, but this is going to be a tough fight for sure. And it really didn't help that I netted myself, but luckily, I just got enough wounds in there and I won combat and he held. So again, it's the same thing as before, where I'm just killing the slaves enough that it's actually making up for the other minuses I'd have. So my turn 6, what I need to do to get another objective is kill all the other heroes. And the only ones he has left is a BSB and the one engineer in the back. So I went all out for Foot of Gork, managed to kill the one, killed a bunch from the bunker, but didn't panic them. And then the miscast exploded, killed most of my bunker, and then killed my mage. So the way that this mission works, it doesn't matter. I passed my panic, but, I tried. And then this time I didn't net myself. Again, just scoring tons of combat res, especially now that I'm getting my spear bonus because I didn't charge. And this is it. So at the end of the game, it actually turned out to be a win for the orcs and goblins. It didn't feel like it at the end there, like I said, but when you looked at it, both of us had killed the traitor. Both of us had made sure that the traitor hadn't gotten any kill points. Neither of us had killed all the heroes from the other side. And the big difference here is he did not get into my deployment zone or have a unit stay there, and I have a unit in his. So I won 3 objectives to 2. Some of the big factors going into this was, the river was a pain. My brother loves doing it, but the main thing I think I have to say is that really led to the way that this battle went was just the real negative effect of putting out these orc tactical teams that whenever I go on to YouTube and release tactics, I have to be prepared to have them used against me. And he did exactly that here. He used those engineers, controlled the movement phase, and it worked wonderfully for him. I'm just lucky it turned out the way it did for me. So anyway, really interesting mission. We both had a lot of fun. Of course, he found my Foot of Gork pretty frustrating at the beginning, first turn when I killed so much of his, but there you have it. Hope you liked it. Bye.